And I think the reduce, reuse, recycle is the idea of what kind of paper are we using? Do we have to send out all these hard copy mailings? Are we contributing to the junk mail out there? Can we email more? Can we get more succinct in that as well? So to be mindful of just the waste.
Sure. Junk mail, great topic. Are we contributing to the junk mail of the world? And that's a two-way street. Are you accepting junk mail? When junk mail comes in the office, have somebody appointed to figure out, do we need this? And is there a way to get this electronically?
Okay.
Don't just worry about, are we the ones sending all this junk mail out? Worry about how can we reduce the junk mail coming in. Packaging of the products that we use in the workplace. When at all possible, see if you can reduce software. Almost every business buys software. Buy the software that doesn't come in the retail packaging. Most of the time you can just download that software online and then there's no packaging at all, not even a disc. We just bought some headsets in our office. We bought what's called bulk package. They're not in the retail packages in these plastic clamshells that'll sit in a landfill for give or take about 1 million years. So, you're just thinking little things like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then it also goes to, another thing I read about was sort of building green. And this might be, as you say, this could be large scale, but this could also be a smaller scale. Looking at the sort of the products that you use. And I remember from years ago always hearing about how, the furniture in the office emits formaldehyde. I may be totally wrong about that, and that may be changed by now. But I remember something I never thought about. You're in this kind of sealed environment a lot of times that is, the carpet comes in, the furniture comes in, and everybody's feeling sick or smelling whatever. So what are some of the, first of all, what are some of the chemicals that stuff emits?
Well, there are a lot of different chemicals, and a science lesson probably isn't interesting, but we all group them together. We call them VOCs, which stands for volatile organic compounds.
Okay.
And if you're trying to think about volatile organic compounds, think about that new car smell that everyone loves.
Oh,
well, guess what? That's no good for you.
It's
that's
we strive to keep that as long as we
when
can.
you get that new car, that's the carpeting, the materials they used for the various parts of the interior, the paint. All of that is outgassing, and it's toxins, and it's a broad array of toxins with lots of names that scare you. It's the same thing when you get new carpet in your home or when you paint. So it's the same thing in the office. If you're going to paint, if you're going to have new carpeting, and it's the same thing with furniture, especially furniture that is not made with natural woods. So you really want to think about natural woods. When you think about carpeting and other flooring, bamboo's a great choice because you also want to think
bamboo,
sustainable.
What, floor?
Sure. Bamboo carpeting and flooring. Bamboo is a very sustainable
bamboo
material.
Carpeting?
Sure. Absolutely, we have bamboo carpeting on our site as a choice. These are great choices, and you also want to think, in the reuse category and recycle category, you want to think about rescuing office furniture. Businesses.
I like that.
There are businesses starting up every day, and there are businesses winding down every day, and there's a lot of office furniture that if someone doesn't rescue it when a business is shutting down, it ends up in a dumpster and in a landfill. When we started our offices, we rescued some office furniture from a business that was winding down. We felt very, very good about being able to do that. That office furniture was a number of years old, so it was all done with any outgassing of any VOCs, which was good for our employees. And that office furniture was going in a landfill. Not to mention the price was right.
I would imagine. Do you have information on your website about how to do that? I mean, if you were wanting to buy...
for us, it was easy. Okay. We just went on Craigslist.
Oh, you went on Craigslist.
There were people begging, please come and take this stuff. It's going in the dumpster if you don't.
I was in Manhattan not that long ago, and there was an entire corner filled with chairs and desks, and I was in the market for another chair, and I said, wow, I wish I wasn't, taking the subway, because these were beautiful chairs that were in great condition, and it made me, I had the same thought, like, what a waste. You know, maybe this poor place went out of business, but why not donate it somewhere?
Sure.
And get right. So thinking about reusing, because I know we're in the market to always want the newest, the latest, and people need to think about where that piece of furniture
and
goes.
They need, I mentioned packaging earlier of products, but also always think about the manufacturing process, think about the supply chain, furniture. You know, think about where does the wood come from? We might be using all natural, sustainable woods, but if your offices are in California and the wood's coming from New Hampshire, somebody put that on a truck and drove it all the way across the country and emitted a lot of carbon doing that. So think about local sourcing as well for some of the raw materials and the building materials that you're using if you're going to build green.
So then when we're thinking about materials, we can think about the rugs we put down, the pressed wood or whatever, you know, they're used to make that, the cabinets, the paint that we use. Even something as simple as just using an eco-friendly paint is a great idea.
Absolutely.
And they're readily available on your website. You can find a gallon of paint.
Eco-friendly paints and other building materials. Absolutely.
Well, I think we have that mindset too, that, you know, is it going to work? Or the chemicals that they put in the paint that keep it from getting moldy and all of this, is that going to be the same?
Sure. And what you're looking for is low VOCs. You're looking for things that are going to emit.
Right.
Sometimes it's impossible to get it down to nothing.
Right.
But what you want to do is try to get it down as much as possible.
Okay.